who are you?
My name is Julian. My friends call me Jules, and this is Nick.
We're 2/5 of the Strokes.
Now tell me the other names of the guys in the Strokes, please.
There's Fab, there's Albert, and there's Nikolai.
With the full names, please, Julian. The full names. I love your full names.
Julian Casablancas, Albert Hammond Jr., Nick Valenci. That does sound pretty funny, actually. If you say it like that. Fab Moretti. And Nikolai Fraiture.
Good. Now, you Strokes, is it time to smell the glove? Smell the glove.
Actually, that's sort of the problem that we're having at the time. We're sort of changing the plan because our whole careers we've done everything like sort of like our own way, like just how we present ourselves, and just there's been all. Are you all right, man? There's been all these like articles and all this stuff that just doesn't represent. Watch out, it's red light, dude. Red light.
Wait a sec. Hold on. That's Nick of the Strokes. What did Nick almost do there, Julian?
You've got to lay off the Spinal Tap references, man. We're not interested in Spinal Tap references.
Well, it's cool. I like Spinal Tap and Behind the Music. All those shows, they're like educational videos for like what not to do, you know. And it's like a real struggle against like record company and like people like that that really want you to sell out.
We can go across the road now.
Right.
But actually, let me just rephrase that. Smell the glove. Now, there is a reference to your record there, isn't there, Julian? Please explain that. Smell the glove.
Oh, right. That's the way it's released in Europe, I think.
Explain for people that haven't seen it, please.
Well, actually, the album cover is going to be different in the U.S. and Canada, I believe. Did it come out already here?
No, it hasn't. Not till I think the fall. But what is the record looking like?
It's just the cover is a girl's ass.
Dude, it's not.
Profile.
Big Bang.
Ass.
That's not going to be the picture in Canada.
There's two different album covers, you know, like in different parts of the world. And in Canada, I don't think it's that ass shot. I think it's a different shot of some sort of scientific.
It's a diagram of the Big Bang.
So in Canada, do we get to smell the glove? Do we get the glove in Canada? Do we get the glove on the ass in Canada?
As an import.
Why don't we get the glove on the ass? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, Europe allows the glove on the ass. Why not in Canada there, Julian of the Strokes, your album cover?
Because we were rushed because we had to do all these interviews and all these like shows, so we didn't have time to choose the right cover.
And the cover you chose there, Nick, what the hell's going on with that cover? Looks like Zoso Zeppelin thing. What's that?
You don't like it?
What is that?
It's the
alternate cover.
It's the Big Bang Theory.
Hey, I like to smell the glove, Julian.
I like it too, but that's why there's variety. You got two.
These guys are the Strokes from New York City.
Oh, yeah?
Julian, Nick, you have some fans.
I love you guys. You rock.
They suck, man. They suck.
Oh.
Are you kidding? Howard Stern's the only way to go. What are you talking
Well, you're welcoming these guys to Vancouver by saying that?
Fuck off. Get out of my town.
Julian of the Strokes, here we are at Carlos and Bud's. Now, we walked in here to a warm reception. You were saying something about the people that greeted you as you came in here. They weren't talking about you, but in general, you said you've had that kind of reaction sometimes in the Strokes.
Well, it's not that kind of reaction. I think that we're sort of going to change the way. Like, these are probably the last. This is probably actually the last interview we're going to do in a long time. We're just.
Not because of me or anything, is it?
No, it has nothing to. No, you're nice. I'm just talking about just the way we've been like portrayed. You know, is not us. And if I heard of a band like that, I probably wouldn't like that band. I think they were assholes. I don't know. I think the way to hear music is to hear the music first and then find out about the band later. And just, you know, it's like so over sensationalized that any asshole with a pen can just like, you know, take up your time and fucking portray you in a. It's not that it's a bad way. It's just not the truth, and it's like it's a shame that people aren't hearing the music and then appreciating it. Instead, they're just, you know, being fed some bullshit. That
You're getting paranoid about it. Like you walk into Carlos and Bud's here, and people are yelling, and you think they're yelling at you.
No, not at all. I think it's not that. It's just that you gotta understand. Like, we've had a schedule that's like, you know, so packed with stuff that we didn't organize, but we're gonna sort of like, I think, take it by the helm a little bit, and like sort of like make sure that we can function as a band and like write new songs and get better and not be like. I feel like so many bands. I never realized like what it was, but I feel like so many bands like got all this success that's like that hasn't happened yet. But if it does like that, it sucks. It's like it's not cool.
There is an element of make-believe, isn't there, in the band, Nick? There's an element of make-believe, isn't there?
We're not in search of fame at all. We're just like...
Excuse me, there's an element of make-believe in a band, isn't there, Nick? Swiss Schools, elite modeling agency.
Yes.
There's an element of make-believe in a band. It's pretty cool. Meeting at Swiss Schools, that's cool.
It's like realistic. It's not make-believe. It's not pretend. It's not fiction. It's like true. It's true to life.
I think it's really cool, though, like Swiss. I've never been to the place they call Suisse, but you guys have, and you met there, and your dad is like John Casablanca. That's pretty cool, and I think he's in some hot water now, eh?
I don't know. I think it's. I don't know. It's weird. I live with my mom. They divorced when I was young, so I think life felt a little more normal. That was the weirdest part. That was the weirdest stage of my life, personally, when because my dad, he's Spanish. He grew up there. I think there was a war at the time, so he was sent there. And he thought it would be, because I was fucking up at school, he thought it was a good idea for me to go there. And I think that was like one of the things, everything in life you learn from. So I don't regret it. I'm not ashamed of it. I think it sounds maybe whatever. It's whatever.
An element of make-believe. Now, Nick. Good cheekbones. Are good cheekbones important in a band?
No. It's totally like secondary, I mean, like, it's like, those are the kind of questions that we get asked all the time, I think, and like, I don't know, it's just like, it's things like that leads us to like, I don't know, like we make decisions where like, I don't know, we're trying like not to have our like photographs all over the place anymore, because really I think it's like, I don't want to sound cheesy, but taking away from our music, like in a huge way,
It's not that. It's that our album is gonna come out, and I just want people to. I think it's like when they hear the album, I think they'll realize that we're not like that.
The media likes nice cheekbones, doesn't it? And that's the problem, right?
No, that's not the problem. The problem is that I think the music is good enough that when you just hear it, it'll say a lot, and then like all the questions afterwards will be interesting, and all questions now are not. That's the bottom line. People watching this, they don't know who we are. They don't know what our music sounds like. So why the fuck are we being interviewed? Because of fucking shit that we didn't control. And it's like I want to see what the album says to people first before like I have to like.
I think you're being interviewed because you're an interesting person there, Julian. And also the ambition of the Strokes is quite unique. You have an ambition to be the next Skid Row, right?
Yeah, you're not far off.
That's what you'd like to be, the next Skid Row.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
You said that, and I think that's kind of scary because remember Skid Row kicked Sebastian Bach out in a band, Julian.
No, I mean, if I said that, I mean, I think I did say that. It was actually meant to be sarcasm.
And also, you got to be careful about saying that. Remember, Sebastian Bach chucked that beer bottle at a fan years ago, and the entire first album, the royalties went to the fan. Remember that, Nick?
That was some killer footage, though, of him on stage, like chucking that fucking beer bottle at the person's face.
It looks great, but you guys don't want to end up in that VH1 special, now do you?
Never chuck a beer bottle at someone's face, unless they ask me a stupid question.
And the drummer for Warrant is packing video boxes now. Do you know that, Julian?
No, I didn't know that.
And there's a connection to Skid Row there, too. The producer of Skid Row, Michael Wagner, also produced Warrant. So don't say you're going to be the next Skid Row. Please don't say that anymore. Retract that statement if you could, Julian.
It was meant to be sarcastic.
You're an 80s cock rock buff.
Well, that's what we were thinking. Perhaps maybe you guys are called the Strokes. Did you name your band after Stroker Ace or Stroke Me by Billy Squier?
Actually, it's funny. Like we only found out after we decided to call ourselves the Strokes. We found out like we kept on getting these like Billy Squier comments and like Stroke Me comments, and I only found out that was a song until like after like we officially became a band, and I was a little bit disappointed